And good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Tim Rozsell Show. We are live on the concourse at Harbour Station behind Section F. My name is Tim Rozsell, and I'm very pleased to be joined tonight by Gordie Clark, the Director of Player Personnel for the New York Rangers. Gordie, welcome home. I know St. John is home for you. How nice is it to be back in this region?
Well, I loved every moment that the Quebec Leagues come up in here. Gets me up here more. I was telling Wayne Long in August when I was at the Helinka tournament that Zaboral was a hell of a player, and the kid Shalapik over in Charlottetown, and that meant that Gordie Clark was going to be in the Maritime scouting a lot this year.
Well, you sort of allude to my next point. Obviously, you're here because you want to see some young talent, and these two teams here tonight in Charlottetown and tomorrow are certainly going to be three teams that you'll be watching a lot, I think.
Yeah, no, it's perfect for me to come up here to get these teams come in. Meyer tonight with Halifax was a good player last year, and it's always good to see Ehlers, who you loved last year, and see how he's doing coming back off his camp in Winnipeg. And St. John, with Marsh, Noel, and Zaboral, those are players that I need to see. And then tomorrow with the Sprong and Shalapik, it's going to be perfect.
Let's talk about the imports for a moment. You mentioned a lot of import player names like the Sea Dogs with Jakob Zaboral and Schlapik with Charlottetown, Meyer with Halifax. In your scouting experience, how long does it take for players like that, especially the guys that are here for the first time in North America, how long does it take for them to really acclimatize to playing on the smaller ice surface?
Well, it varies, because you don't really know much about the kids unless you've drafted them. So you haven't got really to sit down and see what they're all about. But Shalapik, I think, he's a little slow. The kid Zaka, who is probably the top-rated Czech player, has got 2 assists in Sarnia. So he's taken a while. And then Zaboral just steps in, and he's playing like he did. He's a star.
Now, without giving away too many of your secrets, when you come to a game like this, what kinds of things are you looking for? What are the standout characteristics that you're looking for in a player? Well,
I think when you're coming to games like this to see with a couple of top-end players in it, you want to see the hockey sense and hands. And that's what makes the new NHL, along with skating, that's what it's all about now, hockey sense and hands and skating. And you're definitely, the scouts all here are all looking for the same stuff.
How much has that analysis changed, say, even in the last 5 years?
I would say that I think the last 5 years is when it changed. Before that, maybe guys were more, even in the first round, guys were being taken that didn't really have good numbers, but they were bigger, stronger, they could forecheck, they could hit, and that was the type of game it was 5 years ago. But it's a very highly skilled, fast game now in the National Hockey League.
This is Tim Rozsell, the Tim Rozsell Show. We are behind Section F in Harbour Station with Gordie Clark, the Director of Player Personnel for the New York Rangers. And Gordie, how many of these types of trips, say to the Quebec League specifically, do you get to make in an average year?
It varies because you have to go where the players are, and it goes in cycles. Sometimes it's stronger. Like I think 2 years ago, 19 players from the Quebec League were drafted, and so I was here a lot, which made me happy. But it changes. Sometimes it's the WHL. I was in Europe 6 times last year. If you think in the middle of the pack there, from probably pick 5 through 15, must have been 10 Europeans. And that's where they all were. So it goes in cycles.
What does it mean to you as an Atlantic Canadian to see the way the Quebec League has taken off in this region?
Well, I think watching the franchises grow, Halifax, Moncton, and Sydney, and Bathurst now, and St. John, they're all run so very well. And I think they've really showed the Quebec League how you should be advertising and marketing your teams and putting the team on the ice, and it's actually their top class entertainment facilities that we have now, and the teams.
Let's talk about your hockey club now, the New York Rangers. One of your new players this year is a Quebec leaguer in Anthony Duclair, who makes the team as a 19-year-old. Tell us.
Going head to head in his underage year, a lot of games I saw against Nathan McKinnon, so. It's just a matter of that's what you never know about these young kids, and it just took him to last year to mature. 50 goals in 58 games. He deserves to be with the Rangers right now from the camp that he had. Will he stay? You got 9 games to figure it out. It's going to be up to him and what he does in those 9 games. But it's not a bad situation to go back to if it isn't good enough. Then he goes back to Quebec City, and they're in the Memorial Cup, and he can get great experience there.
What do you think is the best part of his game when he's at his best?
Oh, there's no question. It's speed, and he's got a set of hands. He can release a shot when he's in full speed, and that fools a lot of goaltenders. And he obviously can beat defensemen wide. Right now, between Kreider and Hagelin and Duclair, it's really taken our team speed to another level.
You played 1 game so far this season. It was the other night, 3-2 victory for your hockey club. And give me a quick scouting report on what you think of where the hockey club stands coming into the start of the year.
Well, we've been on for 4 years now. We had a $1 billion renovation going on with the Madison Square Garden, and we haven't had a home game till November 1st. We haven't had a training camp in New York, so we're hoping that this would be the time to do it and get off to a good start. Everybody healthy, and then we lost Derek Stepan, our number 1 center. So until he comes back, we're going to have to count on a lot of kids. J.T. Miller in the middle, Kevin Hayes, who we signed from didn't sign with Chicago. So some of those kids are going to get a hell of a shot at playing center, and I don't think we'll really know how good we're going to be until we can get Stepan back. And then in the first game we lose Dan Boyle. We haven't had a good power play for 3 years, missing a right defenseman. We finally got one, and now he's out for 6 weeks. So what we will find out is about our depth and whether the other guys can step in and keep us competitive until those type of players come back.
Well, Gordie, it won't be right away, but maybe you can find a right defenseman in one of these games while you're here this weekend. Gordie, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your time at home and enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Well, thanks, Tim. I got my program and I got my Tim Hortons. I'm ready to scout.
Gordie Clark, the Director of Player Personnel of the New York Rangers, thank you so much, and thank you for taking part and watching the Tim Rozsell Show live.